Another championship trophy is coming back to Austin. There's a Volleyball Dynasty in the ATS, and the bowl game season is underway. We'll take a look at the bowl game gifts Santa is delivering this year, and we'll find out if Stevie Lee still uses his bowl gifts. Plus, some repeats in Texas high school football.
The Eagles of DeSoto High School.
We've yet to find out who let the dogs out, so let's ride with another episode of The Pass Rush with Stevie Lee.
Get out.
Stevie Lee, it's been a hell of a fall semester of sports on the 40 acres here in Austin, Texas. UT Volleyball, that's Jarrett Elliott's third national championship. Dynasty? It's got to be, right?
Absolutely, man. 2 in a row.
Back to back.
Back to back, man. That's awesome. And what was really cool about it, I was actually in a volleyball gym watching both of my daughters play on opposite courts today. That's why my voice is all jacked up. One daughter was over here, and I had to turn around and see the other daughter play on the other court at the same time while I had the game on my phone. So I had the Texas game going. I was watching 3 games at once, man. 2 live and 1 on my phone. And what was really, really cool is a storybook ending for Asia O'Neal's career is she served up an ace on her last serve, last play at the University of Texas to win the national championship her senior year. You couldn't even write that, man. And her dad being there, her dad coming down crying with her. It was really, really cool to see. It's something I would aspire to be, with my daughters. But man, it was really cool for him to have that moment with his daughter, and just for the University of Texas at a whole to bring back defend your national championship, man. These girls have made the university proud, made me proud, alumni proud, and it was just fun to watch. And they dominated. They dominated Nebraska. Nebraska
was the number 1 team in the country,
and they're good. They're good. They I can't remember some of the stats, but I don't think they dropped very many sets throughout the whole year.
No. And
to lose 3 in a row to the University of Texas, those girls came out with a fire under them, man.
They did. I felt like UT took their bigs out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, dare I say it, it hadn't even been 24 hours, hadn't even been 12 hours, but we were only losing, a couple people, and the big person that we're losing is Asia O'Neal. Everyone else is coming back. So, dare I say 3-peat, So Jarrett Elliott is going to have those girls primed and ready for next year. Enjoy this one right now, but it's going to be really, really fun to see this team from here on out.
Well, as we continue, episode 334, of course, that's Stevie Lee, and I'm Sean Clinch for Stories Inside the Man Cave. We're going to continue the UT volleyball discussion. We got a pretty good-looking show here as far as subject matter, what everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I can get a little long-winded on volleyball, man.
Hey,
so
I'll
keep it short, man.
So Stevie's the ideal volleyball dad. He's dedicated. He's always watching them, either high school or select travel ball. But episode 334, the pass rush of Stevie Lee is never possible without you see in the right-hand corner, Hargrove Roofing, and they are growing quickly. But reason why businesses grow, because they're earning trust. Hargrove Roofing, Stevie, I love it, and I say it all the time. It just sounds better coming out of your mouth when their little slogan, which is
Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Exactly.
My guys.
My guys. You know what? We haven't had a holiday lunch or get together with them recently.
Well, let's do it. Put it on the calendar.
We got to put it on the calendar. And so, Stevie, you referred to or made reference to Jared Elliott, and he was in the locker room. This was off of the NCAA volleyball's social media, and he was in the locker room immediately after when the emotions were high. Those girls are going to be celebrating for a long time, and they should. They deserve it. Jared Elliott and his assistants have just figured out a way to not only recruit and evaluate well. They get girls who fit the Texas program. But if you remember, they didn't start the season very well. They didn't at all. And he mentioned that in the post-national championship speech in the locker room.
You know, I'll never forget my son coming home when we were 5-3. He says, "What's wrong with Texas volleyball?" I said, "Don't panic." And we asked you guys to do that, and you guys stuck with each other, and you guys were loyal to one another the whole time. So it's an amazing lesson that you guys learned, and every one of you guys have a piece of this. And you guys are national champions, and some of you are back-to-back national champions.
I don't even think that puts it in perspective. I mean, Stevie, when you look at that, there's some really, really good quality volleyball programs, and there's more and more because there's more, and it's a growing sport. But I heard an interesting comment after the semifinal win over Wisconsin. I did a little staycation, and I was talking to some people, and they said, "You know what? My daughter is a great basketball player, and she loves basketball, but loves volleyball too." And they all agree that, you know what, for longevity, I think they have a longer career if they choose volleyball.
Yeah, you're right. And volleyball is not a contact sport to where you're bumping and you're running into your opponent. You can run into some girls on the court while fighting hard, but you're right. It is for longevity, but it's also a power sport too, man.
Yeah.
Those girls are quick and have to be precise and on point with the setters, and the setters have to be on point to where they set the ball, to where your hitters can go and actually get a really, really good hit. So I liken it to football. You know, it's a controlled, out of control, you know. So these girls are running to the ball and controlling a ball to put it directly where it needs to be to be hit. I'm telling you, I can talk about this all day.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, but those girls hanging in there. The season did not start off well, and you know, and they were coming off a national championship.
Yeah.
And so they got a little complacent in the beginning. And Jared, being the great coach that he is, got those girls back into those young women, back into focus, and they set a goal, and they hit all their goals, and now they're national champs again.
National champ, man.
You know? So that's awesome.
Best team in America.
Yeah.
Again. Well, that is permeates through an athletic department, because now the Texas Longhorn football program is about 2 weeks away, Stevie, from playing in their first ever college football playoff, the Sugar Bowl in NOLA. When you look at this Washington team, you look a little deeper than the quarterback Penix, who is outstanding, who Texas fans got to see last year. What is it about this Washington team that maybe Texas fans are overlooking? Because I think for the most part, most Texas fans are very intelligent, high IQ football fans. They see this as a team that could beat Texas over the top. But is there anything about Washington where you see, wow, this is maybe a tougher opponent than people are giving them credit for, even though people are respecting them? That's what I mean.
We're respecting them because they haven't lost a game yet, right? and they are playing really, really well. What people are disrespecting Texas on is that we play a complete game, run game and pass game now, right? So, we have a little hole in our pass defense, but that's being corrected. I've seen it get better and better over the weeks, and so I think that's getting better. But the way the University of Texas is playing right now is we have a run game and we have a strong passing game. We have a very, very strong run defense, and now we have a good passing defense. It's not where it still needs to be, but it's getting there. So and then our special teams is lights out. We probably have the best. If you look at the rankings, we'll be at the top of the special teams list.
Right.
And so if you put all those facets of the game together, Texas is playing a complete football game right now in the last 2 games that we played. So that's what people are overlooking with the University of Texas right now.
No, I agree with that, and it's we know that Texas is not going to have Jalen Catalon because it just didn't work out because of injuries and the talent level. There are some young DBs who I would think are going to be possibly a part of the game plan.
Yeah.
Even though this is there's zero margin for error because this is you're playing for a national championship for the most part, 2 wins away. The thing that is a big deal is the ticket issue. So there's 68,400 seats which are sold. And you being from Louisiana, I remember the Sugar Bowl or the Superdome well over 80,000 seats. And then in 2018, I think there were 75,000. So I'm trying to figure out why are they limiting or decreasing the capacity for the Sugar Bowl? Add on top of that, I know there are 13,000 tickets given to UT to give to their season ticket holders, and I think operation and families, whatnot. So there are a lot of season ticket holders. I mean, countless who were not able to purchase through the portal because they were, denied because the CDC and their staff, they had to figure out a system to deny because of the limits. I don't know exactly what the cutoff point that they had to figure out for your annual donation in addition to season tickets. But what have you heard? I mean, because this has become an ordeal. There's a lot of criticism amongst the fan base of others who are trying to campaign to get a ticket because they've been a fan for so long and been to all these games. I mean, have you followed this week at all?
I haven't. I have had people hit me up for tickets. like I have some kind of inside track on them, and I don't. But I have heard that some people were hard pressed to find some tickets somewhere, and I don't know what's going on with the New Orleans Superdome or the Caesars Palace Superdome is what they call it nowadays. One of my favorite stadiums to play in.
I love it.
Louisiana. Played all my high school championship games there. So I played in high school there, the championship games 4 years, and then we had a opening kickoff game there. So I played there 5 years and then played there once in college. So it's a really, really cool stadium and arena to be in and play in. But it did hold that. It held a lot more people. Wow. Now, what I think also is happening, what happens with the Super Bowl, they give a lot of credentials to media.
Right.
And this is the national championship college football playoffs. So they may be giving a lot of credentials to media outlets to it's like the NBA finals. It's hard to get tickets to the NBA finals because they're only in 20,000 seat stadiums and almost half of them go to media credentials.
Well, I do know this. I've covered 2 Super Bowls. Well, wait a minute, maybe 3. But what they do there for the media, there's X amount here, X amount near the top, and then there's an overflow, which you're not. You're in the stadium, but you're not you're in an auxiliary room.
I hear you.
So for some of for the Cotton, well, I can't remember. There's some bowl games that I went to where I was in the auxiliary room. NCAA tournaments, I was in the auxiliary room. You're watching it on the broadcast. So that's a good point. I think some of the seating possibly is taken up. I'd say maybe 1,000.
Yeah, and then the title sponsor, Allstate.
It's corporate sponsors.
Yeah, they got to get their big wigs in there, So to keep this thing rolling, it's the corporate sponsorships that's sponsoring these bowls. So they got to get all their execs and their execs' families and all that stuff in there, and friends.
Hey, do you have a ticket? Yes, I do.
They're the ones that wrote that big check. So
yeah,
to be named the All-State Sugar Bowl, So
well, I just find it. I really do. I will say this. I think 13,000 is a bit low. It should be 20.
It should. They should split it up in thirds, right? A third to the sponsors, a third to the schools, to each university, or they can split it up in fours. A quarter to the sponsor, a quarter to the schools, and a quarter to media.
Media doesn't need that many seats.
Okay.
Some of them are in the press box.
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like it's fair.
No.
13 and 13. And did we hear that if Washington had 13,000 as well?
I would venture to say they do, but I haven't confirmed it. Because usually it's given the same amount. Because I know when the University of Hawaii went to the Sugar Bowl years ago when Tommy Chang was a quarterback, Hawaii had to return about half of their tickets.
Oh, my goodness. So that means 13, that's 26. So what is that? That's almost 30,000, 35,000 seats.
26 for that. So you're looking at almost half of the allotment.
Or not affiliated with one school or the other.
So that's 26. So, it must be general public and corporate sponsors.
But then, okay, so you still can get tickets in through general public?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I think has happened.
Okay.
I think the ticket brokers were somehow allowed access to purchase, scoop up thousands. Yeah,
and they're in lawsuits right now with record companies and artists right now, like Ticketmaster. They do that. They go in and buy all the tickets and then upsell them to everyone else with their fees on them.
Well, so the price at let's say, and that's one of the reasons I'm not going. I mean, I'm going on a trip before, but I was like, I couldn't justify spending $500 or $700 for a ticket. Some of them are $3,000 a ticket.
Saw that.
But I'll tell you this: the face value ain't even where it is, not even at like a tenth of that.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is what it is. It's kind of out of our control, but what we can control, kind of control by watching and following, is the transfer portal. It's heated up. And I thought this one was not a shocker, but I thought it was just kind of funny or ironic how all this works. You remember the receiver when Texas almost lost to Houston? Houston, not a very good team, but Matthew Golden. They were close. Matthew Golden did some damage against Texas, the receiver. Well, Texas anticipating some, attrition, if you will, at receiver, picked up this guy. I mean, did that shock you? I mean, they went after that. He put his name in the portal, and now he's moving up. He's leveling up, so to speak.
He's leveling up. That did shock me, man. And he did some damage against us. I'm glad that he's, coming up to us. This transfer portal thing is weird.
Very weird.
It's weird. It's weird to me, man. But I do like that these kids can manage their own career. I gotta say that. But it's weird. It's weird. And I would have had my son do the same thing. He saw possibly 2 holes that need to be filled at the University of Texas, and he said, they have a really good quarterback. They have another quarterback coming behind this quarterback. I need to go somewhere that's going to better my life and my career.
Correct.
And that's exactly what he did. Exactly what he did.
I mean, against Texas, he had 7 receptions for 88 yards.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you look at him, he's kind of built like Worthy.
Yep.
Fast, athlete, quick twitch. I mean, you can even see Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah. And so I think I told you guys early on that we pay our coaches top notch over $5 million a year to figure this whole transfer portal out, figure NIL thing out. The University of Texas is doing a good job of figuring it out with Mitchell. Even Mitchell was where was he before he came here with us?
Georgia.
That's right. He was with Georgia, and so if we wanted to get all disgruntled and didn't want to like the transfer portal and didn't want to participate in all that stuff, we would have lost out on that kid.
Yep.
We would have lost out on Matthew, and we would have lost out on some other kids that have transferred and actually gave us some really good playing time. And then, I hate to say this out loud, but it is the elephant in the room. But there are some kids that have left the University of Texas that probably didn't fit the culture.
Yeah, well, it allows that opportunity to find where you belong. But us to get back a scholarship that we're going to need to go and get someone else, So you got to play it both ways. It's above my pay grade because I don't get $5 million a year. I promise you that. But but it's right on grade with them over there trying to figure this whole thing out. It's their job to figure it out, and they're doing a really good job of figuring it out right now. They are. Yeah. And this one was a kind of a bittersweet one, but everyone understood it.
Yeah.
Malik Murphy, the quarterback, incredibly intelligent guy. The latest report was Friday night that he entered the portal. The thing that I hate about it is that he's not going to be able to play with the team in the college. Yeah. He's not going to, because of the deadline.
And can I explain that a little bit? Because there are some people out there thinking that this is Shark's rule.
No.
Once you get into the portal, and he said this though, once you get into the portal, then you're basically off the team. Your card stops working. You can't get into the building anymore.
Right.
Well, this is the time of the year where Malik has to find his school that he has to go to because he has to enroll in spring classes.
Right.
So he can't be on the team working out with the team and going to the games when he needs to be finding where he needs to enroll in mid-January. So it sucks. This is the way it is. I hope that part changes. I hope that we can somehow change that part. But a kid could go out of the portal or enter the portal and play in the national championship game. But some schools are going to start enrollment that next day or that next or that next week or something like that. So this is just timing. I wish the kid could stay. I wish we can figure that part out of the transfer portal, but he has to go and has to find his next landing place.
Yeah, you hate to see it. I mean, it's part of the business. It's start to your point to extend what you said. He's not doing that to damage the kid or anyone. If an individual enters a portal, that's saying I am not only looking, I want to be somewhere else. They thought about it. And
the other narrative with Malik, I'm sorry for cutting you off, that I want to get out there is I don't think Malik is leaving because they said Manning's going to be our number 2. I think Malik is leaving because Malik's clock is running out, and we see the writing on the wall that yours is going to come back.
Right.
Right. So yours was thinking if he had a blowout season and things like that, he was going to be NFL ready. Well, he didn't make it through a whole season this season, and probably got his evaluation back and said, you know what, I need to be back another year. Malik, I'm going to have to be back another year. You and I can compete for a starting position, or these are all the options. And Malik said, you know what? I got to go somewhere else so I can get some more playing time to better my career, so forth and so forth. So it wasn't a who's behind me.
Right.
Decision.
No, I agree. It
who's in front of me decision.
It's exactly what it is. It's a business. It really is.
Yes, it is a business. But there are some people out there, you guys out there, is not Manny is not the one that's pushing Malik out. Malik had to make a decision, a business decision for his life and his family and himself.
And stop with the rumors about Manning during the year. I never understood that. Oh, Manning may transfer. He never was going to transfer.
Yeah, no.
Ever. Ever.
No.
So here's Malik's list according to when he came out and when it was reported. It's Baylor, Duke, and Oregon State are the ones that he is set up to visit so far. What that tells me, he's a smart kid. I mean, the academics is important, but he also sees places where there's opportunity. Oregon State doesn't shock me because he's from the West Coast.
Yeah.
But clearly, location really doesn't matter because he left California to come to Austin.
Yeah. But, if I'm in a transfer portal and I went through this hot summer and working out with Torrey Beckton, I would have been like, I'm going somewhere up north.
I'm going to North Dakota State.
Yeah. Because I seen him work out there off of 35 right there, man. And it is hot out there in the summertime. So
you practiced on that field before too. So
yeah, man. All you feel heat and you smell diesel fuel burning. Ooh. That's all it is right there, just in your face, just heat and diesel fuel.
Nah, that's really good for the brain cells, I'm sure. For that diesel fuel.
Is that what's wrong with me?
I don't know what my excuse is. But man, the bowl season has started. And over the weekend, a local running back eclipsed a significant achievement back in your hometown.
A big target for you to hit. Here he is again, dancing his way around the right side and in for a touchdown. Rusty Stotts leading the way, and Tahj Brooks and the Red Raiders.
Hey, man, I'm glad they got that stank of Texas tearing them a new one off of them. So I knew they were going to come out and play well, because the last game they played was against the University of Texas at Texas, and they talked a lot of trash and left the stadium with their tail tucked between their leg like a hurt dog, So I'm glad Texas Tech got their revenge, I guess. They took it out on Cal, but no, kid ran well. What was his yardage, or what did he run for?
Well, I know he now has 3,000 career rushing yards, and he's coming back another year for Texas Tech. Former Manor Mustang, really good kid, great running back, good family. But as far as yesterday, he had 22 carries for 95 yards and that one touchdown that you saw. So
that's beautiful.
95
yards at Texas Tech.
Yeah,
on the ground. That's big time.
No, that's huge.
They don't run.
That's huge, man. It's significant for him.
All jokes aside, good luck to them. But we did thrash them when they came to Texas this year.
Texas dominated.
What was it, 57-7?
That's
52.
It. Half 100. Man, I can't stop eating these pistachio kernels.
Don't know if I'm a fan.
Are you a fan of this? Save the neck for me, Clark.
I like it.
Hey, the Christmas movie circuit. So Stevie and I have a little friendly. We pick out 3 games each week from the college bowl season. By the way, you and I are both 3-0 because we picked the same team to win. But that's, I get it. I picked these 3, and this is where it gets really difficult. You know less about the teams.
Yeah.
The Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. That's in Frisco, Texas. I've never heard of Scooters Coffee.
Oh, I got a friend that owns a Scooters franchise up in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, man. Good coffee. Love their cookies.
What's different about their coffee?
It's coffee. I don't know difference in coffee, man. I can go to Brothers, I can go to Starbucks, and I can go to Scooters, and it's all the same coffee to me. I get a half calf Americano. That's all I get.
Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So I wonder, is Scooters Texas owned? Texas based?
No, it's not. It's not. I actually looked into the franchise with my friend, but it's not Texas owned. But they have a big presence up in the Dallas area.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So you're going to take Jeff Traylor's UTSA Roadrunners, who, by the way, I think one of his defensive ends is transferring to Texas, or the Thundering Herd from Marshall and Huntington, West Virginia.
Man, UTSA has been on the roll, dude, and I'm taking UTSA. I know you are too.
Yeah, I'm torn, though. Marshall has a really good team.
UTSA, it's a home game for them, man.
Yeah, you got to win in Texas.
Yep.
The Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl, one of those tickets, second-party ticket agencies. We got Troy in Alabama versus the Duke Blue Devils.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Duke Blue Devils barely made a bowl this year, right?
Yeah.
And I did not watch Troy much.
Duke beat Clemson earlier in the year, who, by the way, I did find out that Clemson's their NIL is limited there.
What do you mean? They stopped giving kids money?
They just don't have a big presence of NIL or a good NIL presence at Clemson.
Really?
Yeah.
South Carolina, man. Come on.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. I got my coin right here.
Y'all, you're going to flip it.
Oh, I lost it. Heads. And there's a head. Oh, they both have heads on them. Dang it. Who are you going with?
Man, I'm going with, I bet you Troy takes this really seriously. Not that Duke won't, but they're the underdog because they're from a group of 5 conference and Duke is from the ACC.
Yeah. But Duke football, it just don't sit right in my spirit. If it was basketball. All right, Duke. I'm taking Duke. I'm taking Duke.
All right.
To beat Clemson, right?
Armed Forces Bowl, which I think is at Ammon Carter Stadium in Fort Worth. James Madison, they were supposed to be serving their no postseason ban since moving up. Supposed to be banned for 3 years, I think. There weren't enough six-win teams to fill the bowl slots. So they let James Madison in. James Madison, I think, only has 1 or maybe 2 losses. Air Force Academy had a great start to the year, and they lost, I think, their last 3 games of the season.
I got Air Force in the Armed Forces Bowl. If you're in the Air Force, you got to show up for the Armed Forces.
You got to show up for that.
Yeah, man.
I want to check something real quick because I'm going to do the bowls here because I want to see something on Air Force. So James Madison's 11-1, Air Force 8-4. God, they lost. Wow, Air Force lost their last 4 games of the year.
Okay, it's a bounce back game.
So I want to go JMU. You take Air Force. That's fair. Bowl gifts. What did you guys receive during your years in bowls?
Oh, man. Dude, that was so long ago. I remember getting a camcorder.
Okay.
The one you hold up. I remember getting a Discman. You know, you have to walk around.
Yeah.
They're
good gifts.
A DVD player that flips up. So it's a DVD player with a screen on it, so you can watch DVD like on your little laptop now. You know, so this is
made it portable.
Portable DVD player. Yeah,
dude, that was those. Hey, those were popular, man. You know, I've seen the watches. I've seen gift cards. You know, they got to be below a certain amount.
Oh no, you got to watch every bowl. You got to watch. But that was this regular. But they also gave you gifts with every bowl. So it was wild. Like we like every day we got a little gift, and then there was one big gift at the end, like that, the camcorder or the portable DVD player. But you got to watch, and you obviously got to ring every bowl.
So the high school football season in the great state of Texas, everywhere in the country who has access to Bally Sports, either by the app or even before when it was Fox Southwest, you could watch it across the country. Well, there were a couple of repeats that were, you know, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, one of which, you know, so Duncanville repeated as 6A Division I. Colin Simmons, the UT commit, defensive end stud, had a great game. He was named defensive MVP. Duncanville's just a head and shoulder above. They beat North Shore, I think, 49-36. But our guy, Claude Mathis, who was on the episode before this, episode 332, actually, had him on last week. He's the head coach of DeSoto. He was an All-American running back at then Southwest Texas. Great running back from little old Bartlett, Texas, just northeast of here. But his first job, by the way, was as an assistant at Austin Anderson. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, wow.
But he's been at DeSoto. He's coached at SMU, came back to DeSoto. And it's two sons on the team. And they won the state title last year, repeated this year, beating Humble Summer Creek. They set a record for the most amount of points scored in one game in UIL state championship history.
Wow.
74 points they scored, 74-14. And after the game, Claude was asked about achieving that, and what he said, I kind of understand and agree with.
Oh, you know what? We talked about a lot of things on Sunday night, and I want our kids to go out there and have fun. You don't know whatever you're going to get back here, so why not break some records?
Why not break some records?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, I like it, man. You know, that's just aggressive football. You just go out there and do your thing. And glad that those kids had fun. You know, it sucks to lose that, but you know that I don't see anything wrong with that, man. Go out there and have fun. Yeah,
not at all. And you know, Jermichael Finley's son plays for Aledo, who is a sophomore, and Aledo won their 12th state championship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's unreal. Hey, humor me, show you a video. I think we all can relate to this, possibly.
No comment.
I've been there, done that, and you're scared to move.
Yeah, man.
But thank God that most of the time it's been around where nobody's around and you're near a facility.
No comment. Yeah.
Hey, no comment from Stevie, but he has plenty to say in this the acting is on point for Hargrove Roofing, but on the other side, man, a night to forget for Dallas Cowboy fans. We'll see you on the other side of the break, Stevie.
Here at Hargrove Roofing, we try to think outside the box to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So I brought in my friend Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the Texas Longhorns. He's going to help the team strategize, really motivate them, light a fire.
This guy's going to block down. This guy's going to block down. You put your butt into the guard, and that way my Mike linebacker gets free to do what?
Not only are they going to learn a thing or two, but they're going to also leave with a great attitude and a bunch of smiles on their faces.
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with roofing exactly?
Get out.
Right now.
I said get out.
For me, that's what it's all about. It's just having fun, making our employees have a great time. Hargrove Roofing, know who's on your roof.
Stevie Lee. This had to been one of the worst nights in Dallas Cowboy history. Sunday evening, afternoon. They go into Buffalo where it's cold. A desperate team. The Cowboys, fresh off that dominating win over Philly, shared the lead in the NFC East. Buffalo 7-6, now 8-6. Not only did they lose, I kind of had a feeling this was going to be trouble. But they got dominated in every aspect of the game. Did you catch any of it?
I was on my way back from the volleyball tournament in Waco, but I caught a little bit of the highlights, and I caught a little bit of the second half. Yeah, they couldn't do anything, man.
Nothing.
Dak couldn't do anything. Dominated. You're exactly right. They got dominated. I don't know what I don't even know if it was the cold. They just, if it was a warm day in Dallas, if they played that game, they came out just flat and got dominated. And they know that they need these wins. They want that first round bye, right? And they needed all these. They need the rest of these wins to clinch that. And they just, I mean, they can still do it, but it just makes it that much harder. So I don't know what was going through their head, why they came out so flat, but they could not right.
None of it made any sense whatsoever. I mean,
yeah.
The running back for Buffalo, James Cook from University of Georgia, had 266 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And the rushing defense has been something that's been extremely their strong point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know that, and I'm at a loss for words too.
Apparently,
yeah,
the Cowboys did have the flu bug going around the locker room.
Yeah, well, we have doctors for that.
So I don't know.
We have fluids and doctors for that. So
in the end,
it's just, go ahead.
Well, the thing is, it really doesn't change the seeding because in the end, the Philly would, if they remain tied, I think Philly would have the tiebreaker, even though they split. So Dallas would still be the 5th seed, and Philly would remain the 2nd. Hey, Texans, all of a sudden, I think they're 2 games above 500. They went up there to Nashville. And I get it. The Tennessee Titans were once the Houston Oilers, the late Bud Adams. And they wore those Oiler uniforms, but then the current Houston Texans went up there and beat them in overtime. So I really feel like that, if it was, surely that was planned when they played Houston.
Yeah, it had to be. And what I like to say is the Titans effed around and found out.
They sure as hell did.
That was, I mean, they are the old franchise. If I'm on the outside looking in and trying to be neutral, that's their uniforms. They're the old franchise, but you left Houston. You need to leave Houston in Houston. You know, if you left Houston and renamed your team, rebranded your team, don't ever bring that back, man. And then to bring it back to the franchise that replaced you, that stings, man. And they effed around and found out.
They sure did.
Yeah. So
hats
off to the Texans for actually doing it, man. They that just lit a fire. That would light a fire under me. You took the team, and you're gonna rub the uniforms in my face. All right, we got you today.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
so bad. You know, I hate admitting it because I'm a Cowboys fan, but
I actually think it's poor taste.
I do too. I think it was awful. The football guys, they had something to say about that.
Yeah, I think it's bad. It's poor taste.
But I will say this: I love the Cowboys. Always have loved the Cowboys uniforms, just clean. But the Oilers did have a cool uniform.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah.
You know, when I think of them, I think of Warren Moon, Ernest Givens, Earl Campbell, you know. But when you think of Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg collaborating, if you remember back when the summer, I think it was the Summer Olympics, when they had their little dialogue I think it was almost every night. This is the TikToking in the Man Cave is a clip that an account put up. This was hilarious. I don't even remember this, but those two just need a show together. You'll see what I'm talking about. It was that they were analyzing. I forget what the actual event is called.
Was it the horses?
Yeah, it involves the horses.
Ah.
I'll let you have this. This is funny. Oh my God, I lost it.
By the way, look at that horse.
The horse crip walking, cuz. You see that? On the set. That's gangsters of up. Hey! Oh, cuz. Oh, look at this, cuz.
Oh, come on, man.
This horse is off the chain. I gotta get this motherfucker in the video, cuz.
Oh,
oh my God.
Snoop said I gotta put the horse in the video.
Motherfucker's off the chain. I need that.
Horse crip walking is officially in the Olympics.
Man, you see that?
Snoop got to put the horse in the video.
You got to put in the video equestrian at its finest.
Yeah, man.
Now, part of your routine, you need to crip walk.
Yeah, no question.
You train your horse to crip walk.
Yeah, he said on set.
On the set.
On the set. Oh, my goodness.
Hilarious.
Hey, Ben, tell me something good.
Stevie Lee, this is a beautiful time of year. We say that a lot but this is, you know, a time where we see a lot of great things happen. A lot of the spirit's great. People are in a hurry. I will ask people to slow down a little bit, pay attention. You don't have to rush to get anything done. Just get it done now. We got 8 days until Christmas. You'll get it done, you know. But there's a lot of beautiful things. You know, the high school football just wrapped up here in Texas. There's a volleyball national championship. There's so many beautiful things in life with sports and outside of sports. But tell me something good, and it may be tied to that.
Yeah, something good. I had a couple things good, man. We won a national championship in volleyball today. And that's really, really good. That's really cool for those kids, those girls, and the university. Congrats to Jared and his staff. You know, his assistant. Hopefully, his assistant coaches get to stick around, but they're going to be vying for jobs around the country. You know, CDC going to have some negotiations on his hands trying to get these people raises now. So, but congratulations to them. That's something good. The other thing is good is, man, we are 1 week away from Christmas Eve. And you're right. It's going to be a mad dash to get whatever you need to get here lately or as of late. But just remember, y'all, we're all in this world together. We're going to bump into each other. bump into each other with love, with kindness. It's a week away from Thanksgiving, or I'm sorry, a week away from Christmas. Think about the people that loved ones are no longer here. This is a really special, hard time of the year for them. And just think if you bump into someone and it's an accident, just say, excuse me, Merry Christmas, have a blessed day. And that may help someone out tremendously. So be careful out there. You're right. Everyone is out there in a rush right now. But be careful out there. Love on each other. We're going to bump into each other, but love on it. Do it with love. Everything with love. So
I went to a friend's Christmas party Saturday night, and I grew up with her in my neighborhood. And life is crazy that so her husband and I are now good friends. And so she gave this to me as a gift.
Oh, that's awesome. Mama C, that is cool, man. Where'd she have that made?
I don't know. This is unreal. I don't know how she did this. This kind of, that's unreal.
Is that tile? What is it on? Is that wood?
Wood.
It's wood? That is really neat, man. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. That is cool. I would love to get my mama something like that. When she lost her mom, my grandmother 2 years ago to COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she talks about her mom all the time, man. So that's really cool. That's really neat.
So it stunned me when I pulled it out of there.
Yeah.
Usually that doesn't happen when someone gives you a gift. You get excited.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. And
I got you. Did you open it in front of everybody?
Oh, man. Yeah. So to Christy and Chris Lampy, much love to you guys, and thank you so much for that and your family. That amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Man, that's so Stevie's right. Little things like this, and to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to people.
Yeah. Do it with a smile,
religious affiliation, man. It's regardless if you call it Christmas or not. This is we are all treating this time of year the same way.
Yeah. Do it with a smile on your face and a song in your heart.
Love it.
Yeah, man.
Good spirit. And you can uplift somebody's day just by bringing that Stevie Lee positivity. I can tell you that.
Because I'm a positive guy, man.
Positive guy. And to save the neck. That's all
save the neck, Clark.
Save the neck for me, Clark. So for another episode, 334 in the books, and for our family, I guess you can call them that, the Hargrove family in Shreveport and in Texas. And for the great Stevie Lee and his beautiful family and the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Harj, Big Mike, and the Coach Mo. What do we tell him, Stevie Lee?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy.